Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the JKWD podcast. Don't know how I still find ways to make Kelvin chuckle a little bit. We're coming up on 5 years, almost 250 episodes. I still get them every once in a while. Those intros.
Yes, you do.
You're really going to pick up that coffee?
I was almost going to drink coffee. That was bad. That was bad. Oh, man.
At least I'm warning you this time.
I appreciate that.
How are you doing this fine, lovely afternoon, sir?
It is a wonderful winter day here in upstate, let's call it central New York. Life is lovely. We've had some snow flurries lately. A little, some of that temperature that kills germs. It was 9 degrees when I got up this morning. But, I still work. I can see out the window, and I seem to be in good health. I'm taking all of it. I'm good.
Great stuff. The fun thing about virtual backgrounds is it's a good thing that I know where your window is, because when you look out your window to say you could still look out your window, you're not looking anywhere near the windows in the room that it looks like you're sitting in.
I guess I'm going to have to start flipping the graphics here and see how that goes.
It's kind of... Yeah. It's kind of fun. Yeah. And
well, there needs to be some bit of what is the word I'm looking for? Of tension in the thing, so we can just.
That's right.
Keep the mind working. The mind's going, excuse me, why did he just look in the dark and sorry, I'll get better.
Anyway, yeah, it makes for great radio talking about visuals, right?
Absolutely. I mean, maybe we'll do a screenshot and they can see what that looks like. Forget that. Yeah.
Just brought to you today by Vitamin K Daily. Get yourself 4 weeks free of the best positive morning newsletter. Wow, I really fell down trying to describe your newsletter, Kelvin. But anyway, okay. I wake up Monday through Friday, and the first thing I read is a little bit from Kelvin on how awesome today is going to be, or how awesome I am, or how awesome he is sometimes.
That's right.
Yeah, sometimes that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. With documentation.
Yeah.
4-part harmony.
I enjoy that.
So you too can wake up to such a pile of awesome in your inbox for free for 4 weeks. After that, it's just $24.95 a year. If it turns out during those 4 weeks that it's not for you, just cancel before you get charged, and you will get charged.
No muss, no fuss.
VitaminKDaily.com for your 4 weeks of awesome.
I think I was talking when you said that.
Well, again, that's VitaminKDaily.com.
No spaces.
For your 4 weeks of awesome.
That's it.
You notice I didn't try to say philosophical supplements for your attitude.
I got that. Yeah. I understand. That's okay. It's my phrase, and it took me a while to be able to say it. So,
well, there's a reason you do it in a newsletter, right? Instead of
absolutely. Yes, it is. So,
all right.
What's going on in your world?
Well, I finally decided to shave my big scraggly beard.
You did. I didn't think it was scraggly though.
And then it got cold again.
Like,
why did I do this? Oh well, that's all right.
Now you got frost on your face.
I got cheeks and a chin, and I can see all of them. And yeah,
you're a nut.
This is true. So I'm sitting here. Yeah, I've been trying to cut back on caffeine this year, and yeah, I did have a cup of coffee this morning, which is maybe like the 5th or 6th that I've had this year. Considering it's the end of January as we record, is pretty good. For cutting back, considering that I was having 5 or 6 a day most days.
Yes, sir.
But one of the things that I'm drinking right now is a cup of 100% cacao, and I'm drinking it with some turmeric MCT creamer, and it is delicious. So
really,
cacao is a little bitter, at 100%. It's chocolate is based on, and but it's got a little bit of natural caffeine and it's antioxidants and
A little bit natural,
all the good stuff. All the good stuff, and I put a little bit of turmeric MCT creamer in there and froth it up nice.
And where did you get that?
It's delicious. Well, the cacao is from a place called Crio Bru, and the creamer is a Laird Superfood thing. Laird Hamilton, the big wave surfer guy.
Just a local.
Well, Hawaii.
That's close.
Hawaii, yeah, it's about 6,000 miles. So yeah, local.
As long as it's not a long ways off.
Right. No, that's actually something I have a subscription to. They send me a bag every 2 weeks.
Keeping secrets from us, are you?
So that's enjoyable, and the cacao is something I got. Yeah, I put the creamer in coffee and in tea and in the chocolate, and it's good everywhere.
Cool.
And
all right. I'll look up for it. Well, actually, I don't use that much. I rarely don't. Wow. I normally don't put creamer in my coffee. I just drink coffee.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I drink most of it black, and then often my first cup of the day I'll put some of this stuff in, because if nothing else, MCT is good for you. It gets your brain started in the morning. And,
I'm gonna look that up.
It's although you might check with your doctor, because I know your triglycerides are high. I don't know if dietary triglycerides add anything to that. But the way
you actually told me to check with my doctor, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
The last time
MCT,
I saw that guy.
MCT is medium chain triglycerides. And I know your triglycerides are high, or exceptionally high. So
I think they're perfect right now, but then I haven't looked in a year and a half.
So just in your specific in your specific use case, check with your doctor about that. But it's a few calories in the morning. Sometimes I wait till lunch to eat breakfast, but sometimes I wait till lunch to eat breakfast. You know what I mean? To get some calories in my body. But if I can get 45 calories in my body to start the day, just to get the metabolism going a little bit, and that MCT is good for brain function. Getting that kick started in the morning. Whether or not I'm doing it with a higher caffeine dose like coffee, or a lower one like a little bit of green tea, or I've been drinking some white tea. With pomegranate. Yeah.
I'm still doing my green baby green spinach smoothies. I'm enjoying that. It might not sound delicious right off the bat, but you add a couple of things. Baby green spinach is very nutritious. I read it. And I throw in some dried raspberries, and occasionally like half a banana. And I got this nice protein powder that I got from my friend who is an Arbonne independent business owner. Great protein powder. I love it. By the time I do all that, it's all sweet and wonderful. And I don't even know it's spinach. It's just green. Some people have a problem with green.
Oh, green, yeah.
That they're drinking, but
I have a green kombucha that I like, and
there you go.
It's one thing in the bottle that's mostly covered in a label, but every now and then I like to pour it over ice, sometimes with a little bit of club soda or diet tonic water.
Oh, gotcha.
And man, yeah, it doesn't look like anything you want to drink.
Well, I need to put a picture of my green smoothie on there along with the picture from Nutribullet, because that's how I make it work.
That's how you make it.
And why it doesn't taste like green spinach.
Well,
so
yeah, I put some baby spinach in some pad thai last night. I snuck it in there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
And sometimes I put it in I make a little omelet kind of thing, and I got that from you when I came to visit you. You did that with your eggs. I'm like, oh, that works. So yeah. So
I had myself a nice red pepper and mozzarella, roasted red pepper and mozzarella omelet today.
Well, there you go. Well, it appears we're both doing healthy.
Yeah, trying.
Well, heck, let's talk.
Yeah.
Podcast, where we talk about better humanhood and teach you how to dominate your world. You ready? Here we go.
So we're recording this a couple of weeks ago, back right after we talked to Kandace Willie. And before we were talking to Kandace, we were actually talking about a little bit of resilience and setting up wins, and you setting yourself up to remember those wins, remind yourself of those wins when you're not feeling like you're winning. And then Kandace came on and talked about resilience and winning, and like, oh, well, we should go ahead and talk about that. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
If I may say so, I think we're both in a place as we record this, well, we haven't been feeling lately like we've been winning, in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully by the time this comes out, we'll actually have changed that, or at least be on the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk a little bit about where I'm at, where I am, where I have been, and with that, I was training for a couple of races last year being 2020, and I got sick the end of September. I had some sort of respiratory thing, probably a flu bug that had just gone out there. I was out for 4 days, and then I had kind of a long recovery off of it. It took me a little while to get my wind back. And while, in the like week or so that I wasn't running, both of my races got canceled, and I kind of let the chaos of the year get to me, and I didn't go back to training, and I put on, all of the 20 pounds that I had lost while I was training. And then Christmas night, I woke up in the middle of the night with a panic attack. I had, it wasn't tied to anything specific, but it wasn't tied to events or thoughts. It was just my body had decided that whatever I was doing was not good for it.
Mm-hmm.
I was having, I wasn't having like heart attack trouble breathing, but I was having trouble like utilizing the oxygen that I was breathing. And it took a couple hours to get myself settled back down. My heart rate went up a bit, and I've managed to settle some of that down. That's why I've been cutting back on the caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first change I made. Like immediately, it was like, let's cut back on the caffeine, since I know that there doesn't seem to be much benefit to 750 to 900 milligrams of caffeine, versus just getting enough to get your brain moving. There's probably some strange body hacky benefit to large doses somewhere, but I think I had exhausted I think I had exhausted the effectiveness of the caffeine. And then I had to deal with the fact that, I had started losing some weight and then I put it back on, and I still haven't, as of this recording, hadn't taken any of it back off, but I'm signed up for a program with accountability partners that actually starts the day this podcast releases.
Cool.
And I'm going to do a kettlebell program. I'm waiting on my last 2 kettlebells. For those of you who aren't familiar with kettlebells, they're basically a cannonball with a handle.
You signed up for that?
Yeah, I signed up for that. So I'll have 2 that weigh in at 26 pounds, and then I'll have 1 each at 35, 53, and 70 pounds. So I'll be able to progress upward. And I'll be able to repeat the program as often as I want with not necessarily with the accountability partners, but they'll be around for the first 6 weeks. So
I mean, I can set my clock for you if you want. I can call you from time to time and see how that works.
So these these folks will also be going through it. All right. They won't all be going through the kettlebell program. They offer 4 different programs. Mm-hmm. You can do the one that you want. So I figure that my physical health has to come first, because for me, mental health kind of follows from physical health. Mm-hmm. I'm not built the other way around like some people are. Some people need to get their mind right to get their body right. Not me. I need to get the body right to get the mind right. And then I'm looking to kind of rock the rest of the year from there, mostly quietly. I'm saying I'm a lot, but I pulled off from the blog a bit. I was going every week for a couple of years, and I just said, if I've got something important to say, I'll say it. And my social media is looking a little more sparse than it usually does. I got to put my nose to the grindstone and actually do the work, take care of my own house. And
I know how that is.
I think that once I get some wins going for me, that I'll be able to propel those into other wins for me and hopefully bring others along on that win journey.
Cool. I'll be checking that from time to time. Well, once a week anyway. Yeah. Well, my thing, and I probably discussed it at one point before. I'm not sure what happened there. Well, I won't even go back to what's happening, but things got slow for me. And I don't know if I was feeling unaccomplished or I don't know what it was, but I'm a motivational guy. So a motivational guy who isn't motivating that's unmotivating. So this morning, actually, I got up early. I had a mastermind group at 8, and I decided I was just going to come downstairs and listen to me. Now, I've heard people say things like, you listen to your own podcast? You listen to your own recordings? Well, of course I listen to my own recordings. Why wouldn't I? Oh, that's so egotistical. No, that's me. Listen to me. This was stuff that I did. I'm not doing it for the grandizement of it. I'm doing it because when I'm motivating, I'm very motivational, even to me. So I had stopped doing the daily affirmations that I do that put me in the right mindset. I'd stopped listening to the music, and I've got a couple of things that I call 90-second motivators that, I mean, they charge even me up. I was supposed to have a whole collection of them by now. But this morning, I just spent some time revisiting the guy I was when I thought I was on top of things, when I felt I was on top of things. And I know people talk a lot of times about You don't want to keep looking in your rearview mirror. And if you're looking back at your rearview mirror on mistakes that you've made that you never fixed, I believe that's a bad practice. You need to focus someplace else. But I'm looking back on a time when I was at peak form. I'm looking back at a time when I was speaking regularly, when I was involved in everything, and people were just responding to me. That's a good time to look back on, because I used to think I needed to go back and find out what happened that I stopped. That's not what I need to do. I just need to get back in the energy, which I did this morning, which is why we're having this conversation. Because by the time I came up to the podcast this morning, I was buzzing, which was good.
And just to clarify, just something what you said, when you're looking back on the successes you've had, you're doing that to remember how those successes came about so that you can come back to them. It's so that you can start back up again and head for more successes.
Yes.
You're not talking about, the guys that Bruce Springsteen was talking about in the song Glory Days, right? Not the
no.
The guys who 30 years later are still reliving how good they were in high school.
We look back at Mark Henson, and Mark Henson wrote the book on superpowers and discovering your superpowers. And sometimes we forget what our superpowers are, if we ever knew. But there was a time when I was fully engaged with all my superpowers and life was good. For whatever reason I didn't, all I needed to do was go back and remember what that felt like. Get back into my superpowers, remind myself they are superpowers, get rid of whatever limiting mental things are telling me, whatever they're telling me, and go, you know what, this is what I was doing. Because from that, I've got evidence, I've got the products, I've got the people who I was with, and I'm like, really, I haven't changed significantly. So whatever fogged up things in the middle, that's FOGGED,
Okay.
in the middle, it is to regain clarity on what's important to me, how I feel about it, and why I can get back in it and pick up where I left off. That's it. And it's very effective. Very effective for me. I was bouncing around going, yes, that's good energy. And that's where I go.
Talk to me a little bit about your affirmation practice. What did
my affirmation practice?
The one that you mentioned it, you brought it up, and you said you had stopped.
Yeah,
and you were looking back to. So.
Way back, the people I've been reading for things. Oh my gosh, we forget. First of all, we had MKMMA, and they weren't really first; they were second. But other things I've put together when I was doing a lot of delving into Abraham Hicks and Jerry and Esther. There was a lot of affirmations that they did in that kind of thing. And basically those affirmations are going through and seeing yourself in the roles you want to be. I mean, it's been around forever. I got a mastermind group I'm in them now, and we just finished going through As a Man Thinketh, which if you haven't been through As a Man Thinketh, you need to do that. For the people who are gender sensitive, you can go through As a Person Thinketh, but the basic thing that is, and it's age-old wisdom, is that you become what you think about. If you're thinking about, oh, I'm such a loser, guess what? You're programming yourself and you're going to do all that. So As a Man Thinketh is talking about the power that you have as a human to review those things and do that. So As a Man Thinketh, and the affirmations I got through, which talks about who I am. What does my life look like? What am I doing when I'm going through this life I am so overjoyed about? How am I walking? How am I talking? Who are the people I'm talking to? What kind of people am I hanging around? Because generally speaking, if you're looking to climb, you don't want to sit around talking about people who have an entire day full of negativity to give to you. I mean, I'm a positive guy. I'm the Prince of Positive. My website is Intensely Positive. My vitamin K or all that stuff. So again, filtering out the negativity in life, because it is what is the term I'm looking for?
Self-fulfilling.
It's self-fulfilling. But when I go back and remember the things that I've done, the organizations I've been president for, not looking at the task, but just looking at the skills of the person who did those things, I remind myself, no, I got skills. I got great skills. This is what I've done with it. So now it's not like I got to go back and relearn it. All I got to do is tap back into it and keep walking. So right now I'm tapping, and I started walking this morning. So when we have our next podcast together, I can tell you how far I've gotten. But I know, looking at how far. One of the other things is also, I like to do a lot of things. And I am here to say there is a point of diminishing returns on the things you try to do, unless you can migrate them into a package. And the things that don't fit, it's time for them to go. But if you can't see yourself doing the things that you want to do, the things that you feel are heartfelt for you, if you can't manage to put a picture in your mind of you doing them, there's a problem. Either you don't think you're worthy, don't think you're capable, whatever. And those are the things that some of these books help you through. I've read a lot of books. A couple of things need to happen. Number one, you need to put the knowledge in your head and understand it. Number two, you need to give yourself permission to put it into play. And giving yourself permission, sometimes we wait for other people to give us permission to give ourselves permission. We got to cut that out.
Yep.
Yeah, that ain't working. So anyway, so that's where I am. Giving myself permission again to be who I am. And I've already got documented proof for that and how it works. So, it's like watching Tom Cruise reruns, man. I know I've seen it before, but I'm going to look at it again. And yeah, I'm just as jazzed as I was the last time. So I'm back to that guy.
I was listening to Angela Duckworth's book, Grit. I haven't watched her TED Talk, but I'll add it to the show notes here too. And one of the things that she found in her research is people who make a habit of accomplishing difficult things, of sticking to things, and that's really what it is it's sticking to things and seeing them through. They'll keep doing it throughout their lives. And people who make a habit of quitting things that, whether they're hard or they get bored, they'll keep quitting throughout their lives. So if you're the sort of person who's made a habit of quitting and you want to start persevering, you just set yourself up with smaller wins, and then you can grow them incrementally. And then you have to be able to point to those wins on your way. You have to be able to remember those wins. So, and that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
With you're going back to seeing, your accomplishments there is you saw where you persevered, you saw where you won, and you went ahead and you're purposely putting those moments back in your mind so you can remember what it felt like. And
absolutely. And one of the other things for me is that for some reason, since I did 20 years in the military, I did 20 years in the Air Force. I got out of there. I did 16 years at the local hospital, and I've done other things. And I've no matter what I encounter, somehow I end up being on the management team. I end up being president a lot. But basically, whenever management comes up, I end up on those boards. And it's not something I go, hey, I want to participate in that. I want to be blah, 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 blah. The single exception to that is Toastmasters and being the membership chair for things, because when I believe in something, getting members, I love talking about this stuff. But every time I end up going to something, some guy says, we need you on our management team. So I've already got something that somebody's seeing besides me. So, and I know what I've done in the past. Huh?
Not a bad place to be, to have somebody else support you
so
and say, we see these great things, and gives you a good reflection point.
So I'm putting out the right stuff. All I got to do is get my mirror calibrated, so it's showing me what everybody else sees, so I remember who I am.
Good. So we're a little over 6 weeks into the year by the time this comes out.
We are.
Yeah. It seems like it's moving fast.
Go?
Yeah. Seems like it's moving a little fast.
Wow.
So it's a good time to recalibrate. And now that any momentum we had going into the year, whether it was, it's a new year, I'm gonna do it, or geez, this is still kind of beating on me. Whether it was good momentum or bad momentum, the momentum itself is gone.
Yeah,
it's a good time to recalibrate and say, am I doing what I thought I would do? Am I doing what I want to be doing? How do I get a move on it and get going and really start me up?
There you go. There you go. So, yeah, I'm started. Can you hear my engines revved? I know what you're saying. I'll believe that when I see another podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. When you're on your podcast, so it's not when I see a podcast, it's when I see 3 in a row. But if that's not where you're at, then if that's just one more thing for you to do instead of the thing that you want to win at, then that's not a success. It's just one more thing that you managed to check off somebody else's list. So
there is some of that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't take that expectation from me, even if I'm not actually putting out that expectation. The only time I've said, "Where's the podcast?" is when you said, "I'm going to do 52 of them this year."
I'm aware of that, but I tell you what, the stuff that's there is still worth listening to.
Yeah.
Start at episode 1 and keep moving forward to 90, whatever that is. So even if I never do another one, there's an incredible.
Yeah, you got a good library. And, some of that has, made appearances here in our library here at 245 episodes and counting. And
yes,
we can, there's a lot to learn. So, yeah.
I will tell you one other thing I figured out about me. I do best when I'm helping somebody else out. If I'm doing it for just me, I don't have near the energy for it. If I'm doing it for someone else, I've let myself down and not gotten to my podcast, but I have never bailed on you and us for this podcast. That's why we got 245 episodes coming up, and I've got 90. And the other thing is I've got my vitamin K, and I've been doing that sucker for 10 plus years, and I've only missed one episode. Now, some of them have typos, but once you know me, you love me, and the typos are like, oh, look, he was sleeping on the keyboard again. But I've never bailed on that. So those are, and one of the things that keeps me going with vitamin K is a number of people who write me and say, man, I really needed to hear that today. Thank you so much for that. And I don't hear from them all the time, but almost, every week I got somebody who's going, thank you. I'm glad you're still doing that. Don't stop. Okay, I won't.
Good stuff. Yeah.
So I'm doing that. So
good reminder not to stop.
It is. It is. So anyway, that's it. So we're all juiced up. You're juiced up.
Yeah. Let's keep making 2021 happen in our lives and for each other, and go get what you need to get.
I do have one thing to say though.
Yeah.
Don't expect to see me on a marathon unless I'm just watching you. Just letting you know.
Yeah, I am signed up for a couple races toward the end of the year.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Gotta get
try to get out and watch, all right?
Gotta get those long-term goals in. Yeah. I'll let you know when assuming they get to stay on, depending on how COVID goes this year. I'll let you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors around right now.
Yeah, I have no idea. So we'll see. So that Vitamin K Daily that Kelvin was just talking about, once again, you can get 4 weeks free by going to vitaminkdaily.com. Sign up today. You can get show notes for this and all the other episodes at jkwdpodcast.com. You can go find Kelvin over at intensivepositive.com. Find me at joshshear.com. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Show notes and more at jkwdpodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your friends. And we will see you next week. Bye. A Better Humanhood production.